the more that we work with creation, even, you know, micro level or sort of macro level, we just like understand why Jesus spoke in parables so much, because it really, there's just so much that happens on the farm that's a metaphor for like, oh, this makes sense to move through life this way.
As humans, we are intrinsically tied to the soil, and our bodies know it. Our minds don't. And so when we can put our bodies back there and put our hands in the soil, our minds remember.
We're Quill's Farm, and right now we are blessed to have a mostly grown family that all contributes to the farm in some way.
I've deliberately tried to set it up to be run on human power instead of machine power. So when we have a choice and it's possible, we'd rather grab a shovel instead of a tractor. That allowed my kids all to be involved in very specific ways and have their own enterprises as 8-year-olds. We are a small diversified farm specializing in dairy.
The products that we sell then are veal and beef. Then we make our own yogurt, farmstead cheeses, cottage cheese, queso fresco, and pork, our milk and whey-fed pork that's raised in the woods. And then my daughter makes chev and sells goat's milk as well. You know, for me, raising the children on the farm and homeschooling, that was all like, okay, it can all be integrated. The lessons of life very much were going to be what we were doing while we were working. And so some of those were hard lessons about, you know, really beloved animals dying or births going sideways, but some of them were really like these glorious things where, you know, Phill would be gone and Ben and Carolyn and I would be down in the lower pastures, and Ben's cow was having a calf, and the three of us brought up the calf in the garden wagon, you know, and brought it all the way up, and Ben would be coaxing the calf onto the mama, and that was just very much a part of the living and breathing of life.
Reason to farm, other than it's like something you can't escape. It's either in you or it's not, and I've sometimes compared it to a terminal disease. We're not specializing. We're trying to cast a fairly wide net. A lot of us are trying to direct market our products so that we receive retail instead of wholesale. So that gives us an opportunity to capture more food dollars when we offer more products to the same person. That's unusual in today's farming landscape that is highly specialized in one crop or one animal.
Over the years of the food sovereignty, what's become known as now a movement. At the beginning, it was a group of 5 of us, including Phill. We were responding to challenges that arose on the farm over what we thought were just scale-appropriate regulations. But I wrote a letter to our farm customers and was just explaining, you know, the way that rules are being changed. They're just redefining who we are and what we do, and that would disappear us. And if it disappears us, it can disappear a lot of small farms of our scale. The regulations really push towards specialization and taking the diversity out of the farm, and if farms of our scale and our diversity were going to survive, we would need to have some way of engaging with the process, and especially, it all came down to the definition of language. We would need to reclaim an authority to define ourselves and what we did. And so that, in the tiniest nutshell, is what the food sovereignty movement really became. A fundamental piece of food sovereignty is protecting the relationships that do grow out of being a farm and in this community.
There's no way it exists without the community. A lot of our customers have also become our friends for that reason. And as everyone knows, farming is a great lifestyle, but it's a hard way to make a living. And without community guardian angels, we wouldn't be farming.